It's easy to put things off, but someone with ADHD can have even more difficulty. There's a real problem with task avoidance. It's not because we're sitting around with nothing to do. We really keep busy, but only with what motivates us. I always wondered why I got so bored with lengthy, repetitive, boring tasks. I would always try to make a game out of it so I could get through it. However, in my home, failure was not an option, so I would have to figure out different things to make the task more interesting or challenging. Later in life, when I found out about ADHD, it all made sense to me. Russell Barkley, a world-renowned expert in ADHD, calls ADHD a Motivational Deficiency Disorder. This is because we're attracted to things that are new, novel, urgent, of personal interest, things that are stimulating to our brain. Boredom is our downfall. So what can you do? What is the hack that helps to make the tedious, boring, mundane tasks that we are required to do more appealing? Well, here's 8 ways. Number 1, remember the past negative consequences. Part of the problem with ADHD is time blindness and task avoidance. Put that together and you can be late for many assignments or miss appointments. One thing to do is to spend time visualizing the past when things didn't work out. Spending time thinking of the consequences could be a motivator when you're not motivated to do something. Dr. Laurel Parnell is a teacher in EMDR, and she's worked with addicts and realized that the consequences were not remembered at the time of temptation. So she had the people remember the temptation, remember the use, yes, remember some of the good things, and then remember the consequences and all the bad things. Now what made it different is that all the while she had them tapping, one leg and then the other leg, one knee and the other knee, and back and forth while they were visualizing. They were using bilateral stimulation. Tapping alternately on each knee would help the brain then remember this. It would put it into a memory. And this technique seems to help the people that she was working with, cocaine addicts and others, remember the consequences when they started to feel like using. You may want to try that. Number 2, think of the past or future rewards. Our ADHD brain responds better to positive reinforcement than negative. Spend some time in the past where you were rewarded for doing something on time. Remember how good it felt and how it pleased people that you were with. Feel the sense of pride in accomplishing something on time. Now imagine that happening again with what you currently have to do. Combining this with the other techniques we're talking about here increases your motivation. Third thing is to chunk it. Take a big project and put it into little chunks. Looking at the big task ahead of you, especially one that doesn't interest you, can be easily dismissed or put off till later. Of course, you know that procrastination doesn't help. Instead, you can break the task into small, doable tasks. Challenge yourself, time it, have a reward, do whatever it takes to do the small task, and who knows, you may do another as well, and then another, and then another, and soon the task is finished. So chunk it. Number 4, get rid of distractions. One way to win the motivational game is to get rid of any competition. We're easily distracted. Think about the many things that distract you when you're trying to do something. If you can, get rid of them for that time period. Put your phone in another room. Turn off notifications on your computer. Shut off the Wi-Fi. Put up a do not disturb sign. Getting rid of distractions will help you stay focused on what is at hand. Number 5, make it new or novel. At first thought, the task is not interesting to you at all. It could be like a stone sitting there, so what? But when you can look at it with curiosity, you can pick up the stone, look it over, turn it around until you find your aha. Now what do I mean? Well, first, change your routine. If it is a paper you have to write, change your environment. Go to a special place just for your writing. Let the new environment energize you. That's looking at the stone in another way. Act as if it's new. What is a different approach to the task? Instead of jumping into it, perhaps you could try a different approach. If it's shoveling dirt and you have a bunch of dirt to move and you don't feel like doing it, maybe switch hands for a while, just to get you started and into a rhythm. So make it new or make it novel. 6, make a game or challenge out of it. I remember making games out of chores with my boys. I always had a way to challenge myself as well. My boys would join in and then we'd make the mundane more fun, and soon it was over. You can gamify it. Make a game out of it. Challenge yourself, and that will help the task go better. 7, reward yourself. Rewards can be all kinds of things. You can break the task into manageable segments, and when each one is accomplished, take a break. Listen to a song or call a friend for a few minutes. In graduate school, I knew that reading for a long time was a challenge. So I would read for 20 minutes and then turn on the television until a commercial came on. When the commercial came on, I would turn off the TV. It was as if I took a vacation. I came back to reading with high energy. Now, what made it interesting is that you never knew when the commercial would come on. Sometimes in 3 minutes or others in 12. But because of the timing of commercials, it would never be more than a quarter hour. Now, you need to be careful though, because what you do on your break could become so interesting that you give up the task at hand. But if you're disciplined and it's, you can set that timer, you'll get back to it with new and refreshing energy. And then number 8, make it urgent. We tend to respond to the urgent. That's why we're up all night finishing the semester school project, because we left it till the night before it's due. However, that is normally not very effective. A better way would be to have the project chunked into different segments that are manageable and make it urgent. Have someone to whom you're accountable. Perhaps combine it with a reward that you really desire. Urgency can help make the task priority. If you want to clean up your house, invite someone over. If you are delinquent in cleaning it, that will do it, right? That's putting urgency into the job. What can you do to make that task more urgent? We're always going to have tasks that we'd rather not do. They are boring, repetitive, but if we know it has to be done, try some of the hacks that we've listed and you will find yourself getting it done. Thanks for joining me with ADHD Hacks. Please like and subscribe so you won't miss on any of our helpful videos. Also, for more books, videos, and information, you can go to ronovet.com.